What is up, everybody? We've got a little reunion today. I'm joined by Tris and Joey, whose channels you can find in the description below. Tris, congratulations. You just posted the first episode on your Mario Party tournament series. The preliminaries are up right now. I'm in them. Number 2 seed, right? Number 2 seed?
Yes, number 2 seed, which was so funny how you went into that of, oh, okay, good to secure that bottom seed.
Yeah, actually, like, literally, I was like, oh, I've got no chance. I've never played this before. And then, no, number 2 seed, I think pretty impressive. And Joey, new video, sitting on the floor, being haunted by Yarn Yoshi.
That's right.
Oh,
Just
I've got
being
you.
haunted. Oh, yes.
Let's go, Yarn Yoshi.
Let's go. Mine's in the living room somewhere, probably being torn up by my son, because he loves
No.
Yoshi.
Aw.
He's not really tearing it up. He takes good care of it.
So the reason I wanted to have you both on today and talk to you both is that it's the beginning of the year. You got that sweet, sweet January 2025 in our nostrils, on our minds. And I want to talk about our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, things that we want from Nintendo specifically in 2025. This can be about the Switch 2, this can be about games, this could be about movies, whatever your heart's desire. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening? Okay.
It's the chip takeover.
That was awesome. All right. Thank you for following Yasui37. But hopes, dreams, wishes, 2025 Nintendo Switch. That is the topic of discussion today. I've got 5 prepared. I hope you all have some prepared. Maybe we'll overlap. Maybe we won't. Throw us right into it. Joey, my mind is blank. Tell me your first wish for 2025.
My first wish is an obvious wish, so I'm just going to get that out of the way right
Okay,
now, because
yeah.
everyone's going to expect me to talk about it.
Right.
Of course, there's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coming out this year. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, they made me wait the entire Switch generation for this thing. Like, for one, Nintendo, how dare you? Oh no, we're gone.
It's fine.
There we go.
It's fine. Continue.
Yes, Nintendo heard the stream, was just like,
Yep.
oh, shut this man up. But I'm just over here thinking like, okay, I don't see this game getting delayed because like Nintendo's usually good about that unless it's Zelda, right?
Yes.
But I'm thinking what they need to do for this game this year, I need them to treat this game like it's the biggest deal in the universe. Like, maybe not bigger than Zelda or Mario, right? But I want them to treat the release of this game. Hello, Chip. Oh, it's Super Aiden. We love Super Aiden over here.
Hey, Aiden.
Yes. But like, I want them to give this game like the whole shebang, the whole advertising blowout, regardless of whether it's a dual launch on Switch 2 or not, right?
Yeah.
I have my own separate opinions about that, but that's just, I don't have, yeah. I'm just thinking if the Switch 2 comes out earlier in the year, it'll probably be a Switch 2 launch title, but if it comes out later, then it's probably going to be Switch 1 first. But regardless of how that turns out, Nintendo canceled a project for one. They canceled the original development of this game, so they already lost a ton of money. So I'm just thinking they just have to give this like the whole advertising blowout, like not unlike how they did with Metroid Dread. You know, they were updating us with the Metroid Dread reports. Maybe they can do something similar there. Show it off. Like the fact that it was like the one more thing in the Nintendo Direct it was shown off in makes me think like, yeah, they understand that this is a big deal and this is something that needs to succeed. So yeah, I'm just thinking like they need to give this game like the utmost attention that they possibly can. I've been seeing montages on the TikTok, the YouTube Shorts, the Twitter, people hyping up 2025 for gaming, and they always leave out Metroid Prime 4, and it pisses me off. So Nintendo, get this in the eyes of more people, please.
When will you know that they're doing the push? When will you go, what has to happen for you to go, it's happening?
Super Bowl commercial. I'm just
Oh my god! I
think of this ties into Wish I have later, but I'll save it for later. But I do think like if there is a big Nintendo Switch 2 presentation or something, that should be like the one more thing. Like maybe not should be, but it could be like here it is, like, and it's gonna be a launch title if that happens, right? I still don't know if that's gonna happen. Like, I don't know when the Switch 2 is coming out.
Yeah,
it all depends on when that happens. But like, even if it's not the one more thing, it just has to be like they gotta give this thing like a Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, like epic kind of trailer.
Okay,
It's
that's what
It's not only to get people interested, right?
Yes.
Like you want to show that you care about this IP you've put 7 years into. You want to, even if Metroid may not be as it currently is the kind of seller like Zelda. If they market it like Zelda, it could get enough people to go, oh, they're really pushing this. It must be good.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like the idea of it being positioned like in a Nintendo Direct. It's like it's not one of the many; it's one of the bigs. And you're right. You know when like it's like you said. It's like okay, it's the last. We've got a big thing for you. It's like even talking about it like that, I think does give it a certain amount of prestige among the people that are like watching those Nintendo Directs.
Yes.
All right, I like it. So a big push for Metroid, and I think we're all curious about like if like what does it look like in a post big push for Metroid world, because they've never done it, so it's like will it fail or will it soar? I think we just want to know, so that's great.
Exactly.
All right, Tris, hit me with your first hope or wish.
So I wasn't sure of an order for this, but I think this actually kind of ties into a good follow-up to Metroid Prime 4 here, which is currently, as we know, for games definitively like set to release this year, Metroid Prime 4 is the only one that isn't some sort of port or remaster. I'm not counting Pokemon Legends Z to A because we have no idea on that game.
Fake game doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to see. I want to at like by this time. I guess next year, technically, by the end of this year, I want to be able to look back on the year and see that it was not predominantly ports and remasters.
Yeah.
Because if you look back at 2024, even though there was a lot of really good games that were released, a lot of Nintendo's library were ports and remasters or like smaller scaled sequels comparatively. And I want to see, especially if this is the year that the Switch 2 releases, I want to see it thrive. I want to see not necessarily the ports and remasters to get completely overshadowed. Like, obviously, I want people to play Xenoblade X. That game should not be trapped on the Wii U. We're finally getting it in a few months.
Yes, right.
But I want the main conversation this year to be like, look at these brand new games they brought with the Switch 2. And not, oh yeah, they had a few, but my game of the year was a remaster. Like, I want it to dominate the space that they brought all this new stuff, because lately, it really has been mostly going back to the classics, going back to some old things and getting people back in through that, which isn't necessarily bad, but it does feel indicative of we're at the end of the Switch's life. They're putting a bunch of other things on it. Where is the next one at this point?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like even just like looking back, some of the best-selling games on Switch and some of the games that the most people played, a lot of them are like Wii U games, or like they look a lot like Wii U games. Like I love Smash Ultimate, but Smash Ultimate is like this close to like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's like, it's not that different. So I understand the desire to want the, like, man, it would just be weird if after all of those ports and remasters and remakes on Switch, it was like, all right, now we're doing it again, but this time we're hitting up Wii and 3DS games,
Like here's the thing, right? My concern is that, okay, so sure, Switch. Let's say definitively Switch 2 is indeed this year. My concern is that it comes out like November, and there's like 3 games for the Switch 2 by end of the year. Whereas the only conversation there is, look, it finally released and it had like these cool things, and most of the rest of the year, conversation-wise, is whatever they released up to that point.
Okay.
And my concern, as of like recent like rumors and leaks, people keep going back to Breath of the Wild again. And people keep thinking, oh, maybe Nintendo's gonna repeat Breath of the Wild as a launch title and give us Breath of the Wild 4K. Don't do it. Don't do it. And not that I don't want it, but I don't think it's a good look to make one of your first launch titles, one of the biggest titles you're gonna release in the year of this console, another port or remaster right off the bat.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a good outlook.
Game of the year discourse about Tears of the Kingdom DX. Like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. All right. My first hope. You're watching the Switch 2 reveal trailer. You've got some Nintendo people, some developers. They're going through the features. I want a whole section about motion controls. they're like good. They're like, our motion controls. Listen, we had gyro, we had like fake pointer controls. This time around, it's gonna blow your mind. It's like a Wii Motion Plus in this Joy-Con, but even like so much better. It can tell, the controller can tell when you're looking at it funny. It is so like tuned in to motion. And if they're gonna show some dumb Zelda game or whatever, give me Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm like swinging the sword. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like I want to see because here's my take. My take is this. I actually think motion controls are so much better than we realize in the current gaming zeitgeist. I think we had the Wii. The Wii had its moment where at some point everything just turned into waggle and we gave up on it. We moved on. Thank you for following. But now every single time I put my PlayStation VR headset on, every single time I go, dang, I love motion controls actually. And stupid stuff like, I don't want to ever play a shooter. I have no interest. And then you put me in VR, I love shooting. I love aiming. I love reloading my gun. It's like the most basic tactile video game thing it's so boring. We've been doing it for 20 years. All of a sudden is like awesome again. It's like, man, I love this. And I just think if Nintendo were to go back in a modern gaming landscape and say, okay, we've got significantly better technology now. Maybe we've had time to think about this. If Nintendo were to go back and push motion controls again, put out a launch game that is like heavily into the motion controls. One, I think it would be a way to push whatever new Joy-Con, whatever's going on with the new Joy-Con. But two, I think it would signal the beginning of like an era. It would be like, hey, you know what would be cool? A PlayStation 5 game that is not a VR game, but it uses the VR controllers.
Yeah.
Like something, you know what I mean? Like I think that they could shift where people's ideas are. We could move a little bit outside of the box in gaming as a whole, and I think it would be so cool if motion controls are back. And I do always think about like Metroid Prime. I think I would be more into it just at a base level if I could point. And aim. I just like it. I just like it.
You know what? You know you can do that with Prime Remastered, right?
Yeah. And I think it's good.
Yes, it is very good. And I think that's what they're doing with Prime 4, because if they put it in Prime Remastered, you got to think they'd do it in Prime 4, but I don't know, I could be wrong. But you know, it's so funny, Jake. I think about like just to bring up the Wii U. Yeah. The first two years of the Wii U, we got 2 Call of Duties on it that looked just as good as they did on Xbox 360 and PS3. Yeah. But they had the pointer controls. Yes. I'm just like, you're telling me I could see the gun like in different angles? I can't do that on my filthy PS3 or Xbox 360. I can't do that. Like, I still have yet to like really fully go and do that. I might do that after we record this discussion. Yeah. But it's so, I just thought that's so cool. And PlayStation even did that with the Move. Like Killzone 3 and I think even BioShock Infinite had those pointer controls as well as an option. And I really think like, yeah, you see how far like motion controls have come in the VR space. Is just kind of, I've glitched out there, but like you mentioned with the VR, like, and their controls so good, and it's just like if Nintendo could replicate that somehow on Switch 2, it would be quite literally mind blowing. I even said in my recent video about my Switch 2 hopes and dreams, I'm not counting this in this discussion, but I said in my video that I want the Switch 2 to have a feature that we don't expect. I feel like that would be one of them.
Yeah. And it's funny, I think about like a lot of games that exist on the Switch already, and I'm like, man, there are ways where you could revitalize some existing franchises, like Splatoon. I feel like there's a world in which we're playing Splatoon. We got our 2 Joy-Con, and you're like, it's like taking you back to Wii pointer, nunchuck like style game. Like, I know people like the gyro, but I do think there's something more intuitive about having that cursor, about having that pointer, about playing it that way. So I don't know.
Switch 2 sensor bar. Call it.
Put it in the dock. Put it in the dock. That'd be awesome.
True.
No, like honestly, you're so right there. The idea of like Nintendo leaning more into the motion controls with the with what they can do with the Joy-Con would be great, because we've already kind of seen them try to do that. If we think back to like the first Switch presentation, and they like really put the big focus on like what the Joy-Con can do. They showed off stuff from 1-2 Switch. They showed off stuff from like what the HD Rumble can do.
Yeah.
Like they were like committed to the tech in that, and I would love to see if they did a presentation again that did the same kind of thing but pushed it even further. And I do think, or rather, I do like kind of building off. This isn't like one of my hopes. This is kind of building off yours here, though. I do hope that we see some sort of good motion control game at the start that isn't 1-2 Switch, that I think would help sell that side of the console. And the only thing I can really think of that they would do that would really grab the casual audience, just like it did like over 15 years ago, is to do Switch Sports too. Like Wii Sports. But like really go further with it.
Yes.
But with baseball this time.
Yeah, exactly. And boxing.
No, Switch Sports is like such a wasted opportunity. That's like a pretty solid game. And man, if they just had a few more sports come out post-launch, a little bit more content, I feel like people would love that thing. And they kind of choked, but I'm hoping maybe there's a future for that, because it would be so cool to be like, I don't know, have some kind of theme around Switch Sports 2, and you just get to play a lot of things you never got to play before, like hockey. Like throw hockey in there, you know, and you're doing.
Oh my goodness!
Like, you know, like that'd be a good time. So yeah, new Switch Sports would be. That would, man. Could you imagine that's a launch title? That might go crazy.
Like Wii Sports as a Wii launch title was incredible. So if you repeat that kind of success here with this, because people loved Switch Sports, it just came out so late into the Switch that everyone was like, why didn't we have this early on? Like it's a great showcase. Like it would have been fantastic to have that early on. And I mean, we have like Ring Fit now. I don't know if we really want this, but like you launch with Switch Sports, you have your Switch 2 presentation trailer, and you get like a bunch of Nintendo executives up on stage, and they're doing like the golf, they're doing like the basketball, like all on stage with the Joy-Cons. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, Aiden agrees. Give me that with baseball, and I'm in heaven. And I do think it would be a really cool opportunity to be like, you've seen motion control sports before, but now there's like an extra layer of touch. There's an extra layer of here are things that you couldn't do before. And that would just be, it'd be such an easy way to understand a new technology. You know, this thing is like, oh, you all have a base understanding. Now here's the next step. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're right.
Motion controls. Joey, please, your next hope and dream.
All right, so we talked about a lot about presentations, right? And I'm thinking that this whole lead up to the Switch 2 is getting me all nostalgic for like the days of the NX reveal, the Switch reveal, and like everything leading up to it, like the launch. Because I was doing a lot of coverage with Commonwealth Realm back in those days on that channel, and we were just obsessed with like just the pure coverage of it all. And I'm thinking a great way for me to relive that nostalgia a little bit, give me another cringy live Switch 2 presentation, like on stage. I really hope there's going to be another live stage show for this thing, right? Like, because that was like, I want to say the Switch presentation was like the last time they did something like on stage, and I wouldn't say it was like glorious or whatnot, but there's something about that on stage live cringe that I love so much. Like, do you remember when Suda51 took the stage to talk about No More Heroes, and he went off the teleprompter, and the freaking translator was on the mic like give me that again. I need to see this Splatoon like science research guy go on stage and say Switch 2. You know? I need that.
That presentation was crazy. That was like you're right, because that was a kind of video game presentation that like does not exist anymore. And I remember like the ice cubes and the Joy-Con.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's like an iconic video game moment. And could
It
you
really
like?
is.
Do you remember before we all had one being like? There's no way you could tell how many ice cubes are
Right?
in a Joy-Con.
Exactly.
Like the concept was so foreign, and it would just be like, man, it would be so fun to have something again that just makes us all go, no, really? And I gotta say, I think they delivered on I remember that 1-2 Switch
Yes.
game. I felt like you could kind of. It was pretty.
You could tell.
I think they kind of delivered on that promise. So yeah, the idea of something like that again, where it truly is like shocking in a way that like, I don't think like an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 has the same kind of clearance. Like it's their I think world that they operate in is much more defined. So yeah, it would be, I don't know, it'd be cool to be like, guys, my Joy-Con is heating up in my hand right now. Like, what, dude? It's like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
getting close to the volcano, and it's like, ooh, hot. I gotta put it down. It's like, no, that's bad, dude. That's not good. Yeah.
That might be rough
Wait.
on the tech, though. I would love to see them try doing something like that.
Yeah, we went from Joy-Con drifting to Joy-Con melting.
That'd be so
Like,
funny. It's funny because
Yeah.
if they did something like that, it would literally just be the most obvious, like, all right, so one of these will blow up eventually. Like,
And it's so funny looking back at that presentation because I think when the thing first initially aired and we didn't even have a Switch in our hands, a lot of us went away from that presentation like, oh, that wasn't that great. Oh no, they're focusing on motion controls again. Like this is what I felt, and I remember a bunch of other people feeling like a little concerned, like, oh no, Nintendo's making the same mistakes again. But now looking back on it, it's just kind of like, okay, I can appreciate this a lot more now, especially because it's just like Nintendo did the right thing. Like, yeah, there was a motion-controlled ARMS game, which people still love to this day.
I love ARMS.
Yes, but it was still just like by the end of it, and by the end of the first year, we were just kind of like, okay, we know what the Switch is, and let's just prepare for the next like literal decade of this thing because it's gonna last a long time.
oh my god, yeah, it was like a pretty good. They like had that ARMS trailer where it's like the businessman and like the schoolgirl come out, and it's like whoosh, whoosh, and yeah, man, that was so cool, and that's man, that kind of presentation is so fun. That was like a 30-minute presentation too.
It was an hour.
Oh my god, it was an hour?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay, wow, what an event.
And then it followed up with like a little like tour of like go check out the Nintendo Switch at like these different locations over like it was like over the next like few weeks or something like that.
See, that's fun, because then if we get told something like that's happening and we get to all put it on our calendars and just be like, oh my god, kick back an hour of, that's awesome. That's a good hope. Yeah, I hope for that too now. Because it's like, do any of us want it to just be like a tweet one day?
No.
No.
You know?
Well,
I think the first time we see the Switch 2, it's going to be in a trailer. But I hope like after that they say tune in like in 2 weeks for the Switch 2 presentation. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Tris, tell me about your next dream.
All right. Well, I'm going to step away from the Switch 2 specifically for a moment here to talk about something else that we should be hearing about this year. Because next April, 2026, is the second Mario movie. That's next year, which means we should be hearing like all about it this year.
Yeah.
Like by end of this year, a lot of it. And I'm really hoping that whatever they give, whether it's like the casting announcements or like the actual like first like trailer like we got in like I think like the September or October before the first movie, I want it to be like surprising. Like I want to be able to like look at that trailer and be like, whoa, like they're doing all this, like it looks this good, like
It's
things
a
like that
Luigi's
are-
Mansion movie?
yeah, like something like that. Like I don't want to come out of it going, looks like a sequel. Like
Yeah.
I want it to feel like they brought the same kind of energy they brought to the first one, because the first look at the first Mario movie, everyone's, whoa, it actually looks good.
Yeah.
Like it had that reaction, and I want that reaction again for the sequel, because I feel like if you can't capture that feeling again, I don't know if there's going to be as much excitement outside of from the people who loved the first film. which the first one was very, very successful. It's gonna do well, just inherently. But I want that excitement factor from the very first time we get to see something from it, whether it's a casting announcement or like the first look, like 30 seconds of it or something like that.
Tris,
That's going to be this year.
I want a shocking celebrity casting announcement. I want the press release.
Okay.
Timothy Chalamet is confirmed for the second Mario movie.
As Waluigi.
Oh wow! I didn't even think who as.
And while we're at it, Hayden Christensen as Wario, since he didn't get to play Shadow. So.
And it's like an unnamed role right now. They're like, he's in the movie. We're not telling you who yet, but Robert Pattinson is in the movie. I'm just like, yeah, all right. That's say less. Yeah, that would be really fun. Oh man, yeah. I think Mario movie. I want them to like go places. I want it to like look distinct and interesting. If it's just more like we're in Brooklyn when we're in the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever, I think that's going to be a little like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Predictable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't want them to play it safe. Is basically it, and I want to be able to see from the very first look that they're clearly not playing it safe.
Right. Do you think sidebar? Do you think in like several years down the line, Mario and Sonic they're going to be in a movie together?
I hope.
Oh, I hope so. Ben Schwartz said it. He really wants a Smash Bros. Movie.
Yeah.
But like, who doesn't want a Smash Bros. Movie, right?
Exactly.
It's just like it's not a hard thing to want, but like to make it happen, get your lawyers ready, companies, and start negotiating.
I think my take is that it's actually more likely than people think. I think
so too. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. Cool.
I really feel like in this day and age, nothing is impossible. I really don't.
Especially with how well the Sonic movies do.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like incredibly successful, like shockingly successful. So
yeah.
Cool. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. I want party chat.
Ooh.
I want party chat.
Impossible. Be realistic.
I think the Switch, I think they made the right call with the hardware and how they went about building the fast UI and everything just being about getting you into the game and it being low weight. I think that was the right call. Now, so many years later, I think we're ready. We've got the tech upgrade, I think will be substantial as it pertains to a handheld. And I think that there was an excuse when the Switch came out that was a legitimate excuse. And I don't think that excuse will be there anymore on Switch 2. So if I'm buying this thing in 2025 and I cannot go to my friends list and talk to you, that is crazy. I'm going to feel like a man out of time.
Jake, we have the Nintendo Switch on my phone went to sleep. We have the Nintendo Switch Online mobile app where you can do that. And for some reason, they'll still give you the in-game pop-ups when X players started a voice chat, launched the mobile app.
My impression is that Nintendo hates that app. That's my impression. I don't know where that came from, but they forgot that app exists.
They barely use it.
Okay, yeah. So, and I gotta tell you, I think like Switch 2, I think it's in a place because of the larger gaming landscape where I think it's gonna get a lot of third-party support. I think it's gonna get a lot of like scaled down versions of like popular games, a lot of online games. I guarantee you're gonna be able to play like Fortnite on your Switch 2. It wouldn't surprise me if you saw games like Marvel Rivals or Multiversus on Switch 2. And I think like with more and more of these games on the platform, I don't know. I don't think it's an unreasonable expectation. I would love to have my Switch docked by my TV. I connect my headphones to the controller, whatever it is that they want to figure out, and I can just be on my system playing some Pokémon, hit up my friend also on their system, and just talk to each other. I get so much enjoyment out of that with my PlayStation, just like catching up with my friends while we play games, that I feel like I would genuinely enjoy my Nintendo systems more if I got that extra little bit out of them, that it was like that social space like every other console is right now. So I really want that.
Especially with how social they want you to be with the Switch and Nintendo in general. So it's weird that they haven't let you do that yet, and that they have these weird workarounds to make it happen. Like just integrate it.
Yeah, and we can't post our screenshots to Twitter directly anymore. So how great would it be if I could? So I send. Oh, Joey's in my friends list. I have a screenshot. Oh, boop, beep, boop, bop. Oh, just sent Joey my screenshot on the Switch. I didn't have to scan a QR code on my TV screen, download it to my phone, disconnect from my home Wi-Fi, connect it to my phone Wi-Fi. Oh, now I've got the screenshot. Now I got to connect back to my home Wi-Fi on my phone. Oh, now I can text the screenshot to Joey. So stupid, dude. It makes me crazy.
It's such a mess.
God, it drives me insane, honestly. So, yeah, I don't know. Just that.
I mean, Twitter is also gone on PS5 and Series X, so it's it's completely Twitter's problem at this point. So I don't even see that happening on Switch 2 at this point, but I would love to be wrong because I remember you brought this up, Jake, after it was gone, the Twitter integration. It just completely brought down visibility for a lot of Switch games.
It really does.
Tears of the Kingdom had those Twitter moments.
Yep.
And they're gone now completely.
Yep. And I think that matters.
It does.
Yeah, especially for a game like Tears of the Kingdom, which we've discussed previously. So much of it is I feel like it's built for tweetable moments. And now this is like a silly side prediction, but I truly think that we will see the return of a Miiverse-esque on console social media
thing. So.
I do agree.
I think it's one of those things where streaming and sharing is so important. I bet you Nintendo wants to control that.
Yeah.
So I think it would, I think it might be in their best interest to just have something that Nintendo is controlling you listening to their soundtracks now with the Nintendo Music. They're controlling your alarm clock. They're why not control this? So,
especially if you get to connect it all together with your Nintendo account, you get bonus features for having an NSO subscription. There's a lot that they could do there that feels kind of easy as a successful business model.
Yeah. And right now, you spend your coins, you can get little avatar profile pictures for your Nintendo Switch Online account, which is hysterical because where does that account show up? Who is looking at you and your friend? Nobody! Why are there so many? So something's happening. Something's happening. There's a reason that there's so many avatars that you're going to see them somewhere else. You're going to see posts. You're gonna see screenshots, clips, perchance. So, that's what I hope to see. All right, Joey, take us back down to planet Earth.
I will. And who's to even say if this is planet Earth? Because I don't even know if. What worries me is I think Nintendo's gonna go into this Switch 2 launch with the biggest ego on the planet.
Oh,
it's not going to be a good look.
Yeah.
It's really not in some aspects.
Okay.
On one hand, understandable, you're coming off one of your most successful systems ever.
Yeah.
But it's just PlayStation from PlayStation 2 to PS3, $600. Yeah, that really, I just don't get how companies don't learn. But anyway, what worries me now is Nintendo's not going to be as community friendly anymore. When I'm bringing I'm just gonna cut to my wish now. I hope to God there's going to be in-person events to try this system out. We brought that up a few minutes ago, but going back to just how Nintendo handled the Switch 1 launch, they had the trailer, they had the presentation, and then they had weeks worth of events to attend. I attended the event in San Francisco the week before the system was announced. And that was such a mini E3, but focused on Switch. It was a blast. Have you ever been to any of those?
I got to go to the one in New York City, which was the day after the first Switch presentation. So it was right off the heels of the immediate hype. So going to that one in New York City, standing outside at 7 a.m. in the cold for a really long line to be able to get in, but it was so worth it.
Yes. Oh my God, it was, and I think they were all they all looked the same too. They all had the same kind of booths. They had these little sections where you could play Mario Kart 8 in tabletop
a diner
mode.
booth.
In a diner booth or on a plane, and it was just the coolest thing and at the time, because this was all new stuff to us.
Yeah.
And I want them to do that again. like for the Switch 2, like have those events. I remember I didn't even get invited to it as press. My buddy Alan messaged me saying, yo, I just got passes to the Switch event in San Francisco, let's go. And I'm like, yes, let's go, let's do this, Alan. So it was just a blast all around, and I just worry like Nintendo's going to be like, we don't need those. People are excited anyway. Like just the fact that Nintendo doesn't even like attend physical events like Summer Game Fest, which most companies don't. Like just in-person events in general are like a thing of the past, and it really breaks my heart like big time. But I hope Nintendo I hope Nintendo just like says, hey, we could still have these in-person events, because at least they have like little Switch events around the country every so often. Yeah, but they're for games that are already out. So
yeah, what's tough with this is there was a big necessity to do those Switch events because of the failure of the Wii U, and you need to sell people on the idea of the Switch. Whereas now, the Switch being as successful as it is, I think Nintendo doesn't see the need to sell people on the idea of it anymore. They just need to sell people on the next console. So I feel like they might still do events like that, but it might be far smaller scale comparatively. Like, let's say, for example, the console launches in September. I could see them bringing it to, like, PAX West and, like, other summer events for people to try out. But not doing this great big, like, you know, all these major cities across the world. Go there and check out, like, all these launch games or early games that are going to be there. I don't see them doing that, unfortunately, like a mini E3. Just because it's so successful right now. You know, like the ego is there, you're right. And I think for them, it might save them money to not do those events in that way.
Because
instead
they're so
bring
strapped for cash.
Yeah, of course, right? Of course, right? But they might look to put that money elsewhere in terms of marketing.
Yeah, they got to put the money towards the Metroid Prime 4 marketing. You're
right.
It's tough because I remember looking at like the Nintendo financial presentations, and it's like, oh, and the Pokemon company does similar stuff where like it is important for them to kind of have touch points at different avenues. You know what I mean? It's like Super Nintendo World, the movies, the brand, the this. So like going into a console launch, I think you would hope that they kind of have these like fan facing for the hardcore people who are, it's like, oh yeah, here's like a thing to embolden that audience a little bit, just because I think, especially out of all video games, the Nintendo one specifically is like dangerously close to being like a lifestyle brand. So you would want to see that kind of, you'd want to see that kind of, I mean, there's an alarm clock, so, you know.
You know, genuine question here for you guys, just before we continue with the predictions and all that. So much related to the Switch 2 has seemingly leaked in the past, like, month. Do you feel like, no matter what Nintendo does, when they finally show it off, it's kind of going to get met with a, oh, finally, or, oh, okay. Like, do you think it's just hard for people to be hyped when we've already seen it unofficially, like, 4 times over?
I don't think it matters.
I'm really curious.
I don't think it matters. I think everything we know about it is like fake information. It's like we think it's knowledge, but it's not. It's information. It's not knowledge. So like, even if you were to tell me the specs, it's like specs are fake. You know what I mean? It's like it's like what you do with it that matters.
Right.
And it's like, you could type out a game. You could say, Jake, here's everything about the new Mario game. That is not seeing it. And that is not so
that's true. Seeing it is going to be a big thing. Yeah.
So I really think it comes down to like the performance of what it is more than like I think we need to see it. I think once you see a game and once you have that level of understand, like there's no leak that's going to say, all right, then they're going to hold the controller like a glass and it's going to have 3 ice cubes. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the kind of stuff that's going to get, like all of the leaks are just going to disappear from our minds the second we see it. So,
Yeah, just show me new games on that trailer and not just, you know, Switch 1 games. Although I am curious about how Switch 1 games run on that thing.
Yeah, me too. I hope they do that thing again where they like, when they reveal the system, they like just have glimpses of games that have not been announced. I thought that was
Yes.
I want
so
that.
funny, dude. That was crazy.
They
Like,
did that for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, there it is. We'll
Like-
get to it. Shut up.
take it from me, that original Switch trailer having that like 10-second clip of Mario Kart with a character that was not in Mario Kart 8. I went crazy over that
So
for like a
funny.
while, like speculation wise, trying to figure things out. It's like, wait, King Boo's not in this game.
Yeah,
So that's a
yeah.
new version of this. It is
2 items.
yeah,
2.
yeah, exactly. Like that little glimpse did so
yeah.
much. I would love them to do that again.
Yeah, that was a good.
Maybe a little bit more than just that little glimpse, but
All right, Tris, is it your turn?
I believe yeah, because
Yes.
Joey was just talking about like doing like the little events.
Oh
again,
yeah,
right?
perfect. Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. So, you remember how when we were talking about the original Switch presentation trailer, we mentioned like ARMS
Yes.
and like how wild and weird that was? I want a new IP this year. I want Nintendo to do another new IP, maybe not necessarily as a launch title, but within that first year, like early on. I know ARMS wasn't like super successful, but I think the creativity and the fun that goes into a lot of these new IPs whenever they get to try them, like Splatoon, for example, has really taken off. I want to see Nintendo push a new IP early on in this next console's life cycle, ideally before the end of this year, that shows that, you know, it's not just a corporate sequel. They are looking to still do fun things. Just because it heading into what's going to be the Switch 2, it does make you wonder how different Nintendo's going to feel with handling this next console. And I think doing some like new fun IP very early on will kind of help with that feeling. And we know they're working on new kinds. I mean, we had that weird freaking playtest a few months ago at this point.
Totally forgot about that.
Where it was like
Yeah.
an MMO
Yeah.
of like building up the world. I don't know. It was
I
weird.
still don't understand it.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, I don't either. But it shows like they're trying new IPs. They're trying different things. I don't think that game necessarily is going to be what releases.
Right.
But I want to see something in the vein of like ARMS, Splatoon, something that maybe they don't expect to take off as one of their top IPs, but something fun that they're confident in putting out early on. Like even like Snipper Clips was that, even though that was much smaller of a thing. I think getting something early on would be very nice.
Oh wait, Tris,
Oh man.
you've got.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I've got the list. I've got the list of
Okay.
of launch titles for the Switch 2. There's
Okay.
there's a new IP on it. It can be any genre you want. What do you pick?
What's a genre Nintendo's not really
Yeah,
dipped
yeah,
into
yeah.
yet? Like I want it to be something they haven't like really tried much
Souls-like.
yet. Ooh. Could you imagine?
Wait, Joey, that's
Yeah.
actually hysterical.
Yeah.
That'd be so
Yeah.
sick.
That would be.
Yeah, that would be sick. That's cool. Hey, I'm James24 in the chat says horror, and I want to say we had a little taste of Emio this past year, and that was a little
Yeah.
horror vibe. Yeah.
Would have been nice if it was not a visual novel, but I'm just a hater. So.
Is there
No,
there
yeah.
a genre you desire, Tris? You're like, oh, I want to see this on.
It really was just something new. It was really, and you said,
Okay.
and now that you say Souls like though, like Joey, like, I actually think they could do something really fun with that. Like,
Yeah, like another Crab's Treasure, but not.
The first one that came to mind for me was Hero Shooter. Give me a Nintendo Hero Shooter. Let's go.
Oh yes.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, man.
because
That would be
see-
crazy.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
That's your new Smash Bros. Like crossover.
Could you
then. There
imagine?
go.
It's like, oh, Nintendo's been working on an Overwatch. Like that would be, dude. People would be so mad. I would love the.
They would be.
Yeah.
They would be, especially knowing that it's like Nintendo console exclusive. And you know, if you really want the people that play with a keyboard and mouse, you're gonna have to get some weird like, like some weird accessories to make that work out. Oh gosh.
No, see, then they've got a new mode you use the Joy-Con in, and it's like,
Oh yeah, there you go.
you like slide it on your desk. you
Like
know?
the
Yeah. But it's
the
like,
Nova Legion Go.
but it's like way worse than that. There's like nothing to help it slide. So you're just like scraping it against the table.
That's really funny.
That'd be awesome. Oh my
No,
god.
Hero Shooter, Souls Like, that'd be actually like either one of those would actually be really cool because I think just Nintendo trying to reach into new genres has proven like pretty interesting over the years, and I really want to see them do it more because it's been a while since the last time they tried that outside of the MMO playtest thing. And I really want to see what they could do because it should be a good time and be something that helps kind of push confidence towards the new system. Something they could only do on this, if it's like more intensive, it never could have run on Switch kind of thing.
Right. Demi in the chat says Super Squad Bros. That was very early on in the year. I did a predictions video with Adam, and we talked about in 2024. We talked about that was our proposed name for a Smash Brothers, but it's a hero shooter game. So,
So good.
That's pretty good.
All right, my next wish is that I have decided that there is a Nintendo franchise that I yearn for. I have never much liked this franchise's games, but I want to.
Okay.
So my wish is this: I would like a new Star Fox game that does not suck. It can't suck. It can't, and more importantly, it cannot be stupid. And you know immediately if a Star Fox game is stupid. You know immediately. Because you go, isn't this just Star Fox 64 again?
Yeah.
And then stupid. And then it's like, oh, you're in the ship and it's like moving around, but you don't really control it and you're kind of on rail. Stupid. We're being stupid again. Yeah. Any kind of like weird thing where you're looking out the window of a cockpit and you're like, why am I looking at the game like that? Stupid. Just give me a fox, running around a planet that makes me go, man, that planet looks cool. And then he sees something off in the distance, maybe a friend, maybe a foe, we don't know. And he pulls out a gun and he kills it. And I'm like, oh my God, Fox, why'd you do that? You didn't know. That could have been a friend. You didn't know. And then like, I don't know, man. I think Star Fox has a lot of room for a lot of character and personality, and you can just have fun critters with fun voices going on a big adventure, almost like Guardians of the Galaxy style. And it's one of these, it's like an IP just saturated with potential. And I don't know if it's ever gotten anywhere near like seeing the amount of potential that it has. So so I don't know. I it's one of those things where I'm like, Star Fox needs one good game and then you can do a movie. Like that's all it takes. Because the characters are there. Like the outline is there. So I don't know. Yeah, like even a Star Fox game where it's like, okay, Fox McCloud is missing. You start the game, you make your character. You can be a dog, a cat, a frog, a turtle. You make your little creature and you go out you're trying to find Fox McCloud. And it's like you run into Slippy, you run into Falco, you run into Peppy. They're out there. They're out looking on the planet. Where's Fox, dude? It's a mystery. Where's Fox? Dude. Does this light you up? It lights me up.
Yeah, no, because there's so much with this IP that they could do. Just like you said, Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot they could do with that. Like, imagine getting to explore these planets, not just flying over them in the R-Wings. Like, getting to explore these planets, having interplanetary exploration, flying around space. Like, there's so much you could do with that idea that it's kind of surprising they haven't really evolved that series that much. There was like the one, I don't remember which one. There was that one game where it was like, it was originally a different game that they then turned into a Star Fox game.
Adventures.
And it was Adventures. And it was basically a Zelda-like. Like, even that pushes the idea more.
Yes.
Like, because you don't want Zelda to go like interplanetary, like super sci-fi, because you kind of lose a lot of the Zelda.
Triss, I do.
Okay. There's so much they could do, even if it's just working off of the framework of a different series and then making it into something Star Fox and really working with it. And it's shocking they haven't tried more than Zero on the Wii U and the side game that it came with it. The
side game that was better than the main game.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, with Slippy and Grippy.
Slippy and Grippy. Good old Slippy and Grippy. Star Fox Guard is what it was called.
Yeah,
yes.
Anytime someone tells me Star Fox Zero wasn't that bad, I laugh. I'm just I'm sorry.
I tried to play it. this past year, I tried to play it and I bounced off because it was terrible. It was
Yeah, it was. Bro, Star Fox Assault looks like a newer game than Star Fox Zero, and it's 20 years old. Or
Assault?
at least that it was 10 years before Star Fox Zero.
They had the right idea with Assault. That's more in line of what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about, like, first off, a space game, great tech showcase for your new console, show what you can
seriously.
do. And just like, I don't know, a Nintendo game where you like walk around an open world and you like collect side quests and you shoot stuff. Like, what will they do? What will they do in that space that will, like, in the way that Breath of the Wild was like genre defining for open world games? What would they do with like questing or that idea? I don't know. I really like. I feel like Star Fox has it. Like, whatever it is, I feel like it has it. Even though I don't really like the games that much, I can still recognize that. So,
yeah,
that's my hope. All right.
Very good.
Joey, what do you got?
My turn. Okay. This is a very simple wish, and we're going back to Switch 2 because I can't think of anything else that Nintendo would even talk about in 2025. I want to put my copy of Kirby and the Forgotten Land into my Switch 2, and it runs at 60 frames per second.
Whoa.
Just that game, nothing else.
Can I say the same thing for Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door?
Everyone
would suddenly love it.
Wow.
Yeah, I want the like there's been rumors that there's going to be backwards compatibility enhancements on Switch 2, but I'm just like, I won't believe it until I see it, because maybe that's another one of Nintendo's ego trips. Is just like, you can only get these games if you buy our deluxe remasters for $60 or $70. That's what scares me. Like that talk of Breath of the Wild 4K. No, I better just put my freaking Breath of the Wild cartridge into my Switch 2 and it runs better. Like, it looks better. All of the above. Like, that's just... It should be a standard. It should be a requirement. Like, Xbox does it, PlayStation does it. There are exceptions sometimes, like for special edition versions at least. There's like if you already own the original version, there's a $10 upgrade. I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah.
But even still, it's just like that Switch to better enhance most of my Switch 1 games, be it first party or third party.
Let me ask you this. Does this satisfy you? The Switch 2 presentation, they say, we are rolling out a new label that games will have, enhanced on Switch 2. You'll go to the eShop, you go to Breath of the Wild, and now on the eShop for Breath of the Wild, it says enhanced on Switch 2. And now all of, like, a bunch of Nintendo's big games, not all of them, but a bunch of them, they're like, listen, automatic performance increase. Maybe if the game launched in like a... what do you call that? Like an unlocked frame rate, then that just happens. But a lot of Nintendo games don't. So if that's something that they tell you, they're like, enhanced on Switch 2, are you like, good, we can move on.
I am so happy. I will be so happy, because we see that with Xbox games. We see that with PlayStation games on the boxes. I don't know about Xbox anymore, but they used to have Xbox Series X enhanced on there, and the PS4 games sometimes have on the box PS5 free PS5 upgrade available.
Yeah.
So and I don't expect all games. I think it's foolish to expect every single game to be Switch 2 enhanced, be it first or third party. Even though I really want to play Doom Eternal at 60 FPS on my Switch 2, but yeah, like, just please God, give us those enhancements on most games.
Yeah, I want to address something in the chat too, because Dusty Gogut says, I saw 60 frames per second Pokemon and it felt wrong, and I think I know why that is, because I remember I looked up 60 frames per second Legends Arceus once, and it's one of those games where it like ties animations to frame rate.
Yeah.
So when you increase the frame rate, the whole speed of the game actually goes up, and because it wasn't meant to be seen that way. And you're like, what the hell is this? And it's not like when you're playing a game on PlayStation and you're in fidelity mode, and then you go to the 60 frames per second mode and you're like, so I just want to, it's I think a lot of Nintendo game players or people that only play games on Nintendo don't know that difference the way that us three on this call know that difference.
Now hear me out, Joey. I definitely see them doing some sort of like performance enhancements for older Switch games on the Switch 2. But I don't know. Like, I'm unsure if they would do the only on the remastered version or like the eShop way Jake was talking about. But regardless of how, what I do see them doing is at launch, 6 titles from the Switch that are better, enhanced on the Switch too.
Yeah.
6 months later, 6 more titles. We have enhanced.
Oh my god, Tris
I
is
see them
so
rolling
right.
out.
Oh my
You're
god.
gonna roll it out NSO style.
This
It's
crystal
gonna be
ball
so
right now.
slow.
It's gonna be like in every Nintendo Direct for like 2 years. There's gonna be like a segment that's like 2 minutes long of like a montage of some of their greatest hits from the Switch 1, and then it's like now enhanced on the Switch 2.
Oh my god, Tris, I could see it so clearly. Every few months, you see the online rumors of, hey guys, so this month getting the Nintendo Switch 2 enhancement is Link's Awakening. It's like, oh, Link's Awakening finally. It's like, that's so funny.
I fully expect they're gonna do that, and it's not gonna last the entire duration of the console. It's gonna be like the first 2 years maybe, because you're right, they're not gonna do it for every single title. But they'll have quite a few at launch, and then a few that they do, like after each Nintendo Direct kind of thing, just to kind of keep people interested in that. Just be like, look, see, we are doing more of our library.
I'd be so sad.
I will say though, to come back to your initial wish, Joey, I think if there is like any direct conversation about improving the performance of anything, like if they actually are like, okay, well, now we're going to talk about improving the performance of Switch 1 games, that's a W.
Yes.
That's a W.
You're
like
right.
the fact that it's even, you know what I mean? That it's even like on their radar and they're willing to be like, all right, we know a lot of people out there are mad. And, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm mad. So cool.
I get it.
They're gonna be so careful with how they phrase that, though.
I know.
Like, they would not pick a single word that makes it sound like the Switch 1 version or Switch version of any of these games were bad at release, or even like currently. They're gonna be like so careful with their wording to instead be like, look how much the Switch 2 is so good, it even makes these games even better. Look what they have.
100%.
Like, something like that.
I think the emphasis too will be like, they're 4K now.
Yeah.
And then the performance stuff will just kind of happen, and people like us will be like, and it's 60 frames per second, Nintendo. But
they won't mention it.
They won't. Yeah. But we're like counting the YouTube video thing. We're counting the frames.
Yes.
Yeah. Classic. 4K too much. No, it's doing that 4K, right, Joey? They're doing 4K.
It's got to do that. It's at least upscaled 4K.
Upscaled 4K.
Which is fine, right?
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Wasn't there literally just something like a couple days ago, within the past couple days, about that? Like some patent was found from Nintendo that they're trying to mess around with AI upscaling?
Like DLSS kind of things?
Yeah.
I think
there
was. I feel like, Joey, you and me, we've thought that was a lock for like more
Yeah.
than a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time lock.
It seems like a slam dunk. What will they call their version of DLSS?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
I don't even know what DLSS stands for, to be honest.
Digital Deep Learning Super Sampling.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm
And
such
then
a nerd.
there's of course Pisser for PlayStation 5. The PSSR, we're familiar.
Nintendo Bit Blocks Enhanced. I don't know. I just think Bits is going to be in there.
I think it's going to be called Nintendo Graphics.
It's just that.
Yes.
NGX.
Nintendo
FX.
One Up Graphics. Nintendo FX. That's a good one.
Dude,
Nintendo FX is good. Yeah.
we've got NFX, and it's like, what's NFX? It makes your graphics extra Nintendo, and it's like, oh my god, look at all the Nintendo with those graphics. That'd be such a good time.
Incredible.
That would be.
All right, Trace, give me your next wish.
All right. I gotta go with the big one now that I haven't mentioned thus far. Obviously, I want a new Mario Kart this year. I think. But now hear me out. I know you're doing.
No, please.
Like, we've been on Mario Kart 8 for over 10 years.
Right.
And by the time this console releases, at least 9.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no dedicated Mario Kart for the Switch. Instead, they did eventually the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Right.
And with how much of a system seller Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been, I think Nintendo wants to capitalize on that. I think they're going to want a Mario Kart game either at launch or very early once again for this console. And I want it to I don't want to say the word coexist, but I want it to be the next Mario Kart that is so different enough that if people are upset by it, just keep playing 8 because it's backwards compatible and it'll be on there.
Yes.
Yes.
But I want it to be something that's like, finally, after 10 years, we're in the next Mario Kart. It is radically different, and it is like taking full advantage of like everything the Switch 2 has to offer.
Will 4-player split screen still be 30 FPS?
Wow. That's going to be one of those updates to an old Nintendo Switch game.
Probably.
They're gonna go, now, if you play
But I'm talking on the new one. Oh, the new one's not even going to have 4-player split screen. It's not even going to have split screen at all. If with the trajectory consoles are going, you know.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Do you have any desire, Tris, for a specific direction for them to take it in?
I guess I just don't want it to feel iterative.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because the past few definitely have felt iterative, and I love Mario Kart Deluxe. It's like my favorite of the Mario Kart games. But I want almost like going from like classic style Mario Kart to Double Dash, for example.
Yep.
Like there's a big difference there. I want something like that makes you feel like, okay, if I want what I'm used to, I have to play the other one because this one's different.
Yeah.
But it's still Mario Kart, and I love it, and that's what I want from this.
Tris, I've been turning this over in my head for a while. Mario Kart foot traffic. Okay.
Foot traffic.
Yes. And the whole premise is it's your car has like a health bar and it can like blow up or get hurt, or you can stop at a pit stop and heal it. But when that happens, you run and you jump. And you're like there's and you can
Sonic Riders.
yeah, and you can like do some shortcuts if you're on foot. You can like choose to jump out of your car. You know, like Mario Kart movie style, you jump into somebody else's car for a little bit, then you like
Oh.
yeah, and like Mario's all about platforming. Like get some platforming into Mario Kart.
Obviously.
Mario Kart foot traffic.
Give an actual jump button to the cart and let you take like off-road like platform shortcuts. That would be pretty cool.
That would be fun.
That would be pretty cool.
You see, I'm boring. I just think like put more Nintendo characters in there that aren't Mario related. You put Captain Falcon's Blue Falcon in there. Just put Captain Falcon in it because we're not gonna get a new F-Zero anytime ever. I could list all the Nintendo characters in the world.
There's one reason why I actually think that would be a really good idea for this, because if Mario Kart is a launch title or really early on, that is your way of getting to show like a glimpse of each of these other IPs beyond just Mario on this new system. Right. Especially if you're taking like courses from these worlds and you're like trying to make them look really nice. Because I have to imagine it would look at least as good as everything based Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if not better. So you imagine you taking everything like from that and you get like, I don't know, a Metroid chorus or like a Kirby chorus. Like those could look really good. And that's your way of like at launch having a look into each of these worlds on the new console.
Mario,
really good
that would be cool.
Mario Kart versus Sonic.
Oh my god.
Now,
I thought of Sonic being a character in Mario Kart. I kid you not.
No, but he's
DLC.
running.
He's running, exactly.
Yeah.
So Jake, hit me out on this though.
Yeah.
At the Game Awards, they announced Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. How funny would it be if these games, if they do have a Mario Kart this year, they end up releasing near each other? I hope not.
My god.
I hope not.
I hope Cross Worlds is
separate
good.
them
That
out.
last Sonic racing game was not too good, so I hope it's a return to form. But
I hope.
Bro, they better get like old Sonic voice actors to play like their older versions of characters. That's my dream.
wow. Okay. All right. I think it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. This is this one is this one's a little silly, and but I don't care. Typically, at the end of a Nintendo console lifecycle, a weirdo variant of the console comes out after the next generation console. Okay? The Wii Mini, anyone?
Oh
god, yeah.
The best version of the Wii.
Yes.
No internet.
Yes. Give me the Nintendo Switch Mini. A box this big that you can slide the Joy-Con on, and it has no handheld mode. It is just for the TV, and it's that big. Boom, you put your cartridges in, you log into your account, you play your game, whatever. I would like a Nintendo Switch that I know I don't have to worry about the screen and the battery going into the future. It's a little thing. It has put your cartridges in, put your Joy-Con in, and I can hold on to that for the rest of my life.
It sounds like you're asking for a PlayStation TV.
I was just about to say the PS TV, but Nintendo Switch.
Switch TV. Let's go.
That's really good, actually.
Yes, I think that would be awesome. It would not be expensive. It would be on the shelves right next to your sweet Switch 2, and just like a little. This isn't for everybody, but it's for me, and I want it. And maybe it's
just for you.
Maybe it's green.
So it is the docked console version of the Switch Lite, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when we were BSing the Switch Pro for the longest time, and we were so convinced it was going to happen. People speculated, okay, Switch Lite's portable only. What if Switch Pro is docked only?
Yeah.
My God.
That'd be great.
Oh man. Throwback to the scrapped TV on Wii U. Oh,
right.
Man. I was not scrapped though. It came out, I think, but I don't know if it ever continued.
It was just unused, basically.
I just think
useless.
it might be cool for them to test a TV only little Switch console, see how it goes. Maybe people end up really digging it, and they go, "Okay, maybe we offer this in the future, reduced price." Like, surely, however much the Switch 2 costs, if you were to make one that was TV only, surely that would knock off, I don't know, like half the price it costs to make the thing. You know what I mean?
It's also like, I mean, like the 3DS, or sorry, the new 2DS XL came out in like what, 2018, 2019?
Yep.
Something like that. It came out like or even 2017 it might have been, but it came out after the Switch itself. So there is precedence for that kind of thing too, even beyond like the Wii Mini. Wii Mini, like they've done it in general. So I could definitely see them doing something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I see it this year specifically.
Okay. I'm just imagining that weird Nintendo Direct where it's like, and one more thing. No, it would not be it would be a tweet. It would 100% be a tweet. Yeah, it would be a tweet. And we just wake up one day, I go, Switch Mini, pre-order, $150.
That's more expensive than the Switch Lite.
That's great. That's I don't know. I feel like there is a subtle art to the post next generation console variation. And I'm like, yeah, give me one of those again. I don't know. That Switch library, I gotta preserve it. Who's got their Wii U's out there? Nobody. Yeah. All right, Joey, what do you got for me?
Okay, my final thing on my 2025/Switch 2 wish list thing. So when people ask me, Joey, why would you want Metroid Prime 4 to launch on Switch 1 first and then Switch 2 later? Because what if I can't find a Switch 2 on launch day? What if I can't? Then I'm stuck playing the weak-ass Switch 1 version. That still looks really good, but no. At that point, Switch 2's out. I want to play it on 4K, like my 4K TV at 4K. So that's why Nintendo better make sure that they stock the hell out of Switch 2. Like, we've heard rumors, like, the reason why it was internally delayed, if it ever was because they were trying to make sure there was enough, either it was enough first-party, like, launch titles at launch, or there was going to be, like, enough stock, too. Because, like, I'm really nervous about this, y'all. I'm really nervous I'm not going to be able to find one on launch day, because it's, I'm not going to be able to get a pre-order in, specifically, just because, like, everyone's trying to buy this thing, like, snatch, you know? So, like, my wish is that, like, make sure enough stock. Just give it all away, like, for money, of course.
I would have said you have nothing to worry about. You'll definitely be able to get one until what happened with the PS5. The PS5 went viral in a way that I didn't know was possible on like TikTok and shit. I was like, why do people even want a PS5? I don't know, but it became like a meme, and I feel like there is no version of making enough Switch 2s. I don't think that scenario exists. So It is literally like everybody, I think it's going to be a coin flip. It's going to be a coin flip for everybody, whether or not they get one on day zero. Because surely not everyone is going to get one. Am I crazy? Is that crazy? Is that a crazy take?
No,
You're
I
right.
think that's accurate.
Yeah, it's accurate. Not everyone's going to want this thing day
Just
one,
stupid.
but the amount of people that are going to want this day one is still going to be significant, though. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying I just don't think everybody's going to be able to get one. I think it's like,
Yeah.
I think that's just the world we live in. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. PS5 came out in 2020 though, when finding any console was a nightmare. I think they stocked the hell out of the Switch too. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I still am not gonna I'm not gonna be laxed on this. That's for sure. I'm still gonna be
tweet
yeah.
notifications on Wario64. You got to be ready. You got to hit
Yes.
the links. You got to, yep.
My
You
hope
gotta do it.
is it releases early summer,
Yeah.
so that because it's not spring at this point. We would know about it at this point if it was spring. I feel like I think it's they're not gonna do a Sega and drop it right away. But I feel like this is gonna be like May, June, maybe July, so that you have everything with the initial stock, and then you don't run into the issue as much by the holidays. Because I'm worried about. I think this is a very realistic scenario of just there's just not enough if it releases too close to the holiday season this year.
That could be true.
Oh,
Yeah.
if they try to launch this thing in the holiday season,
No one's getting one.
no, I will personally be mad. I find that
Yeah.
to be a stupid time to launch a console. So
Mhm.
no. I mean, listen, if we're being honest, I still think it's March, April. I still think that.
I hope that'd be
Yeah.
huge, but that also means we'd be hearing about this thing in like a week or two.
Yeah,
Like
which,
2 minutes from now.
yeah, which is
We could.
That's still what my heart says. I'm feeling like an iPhone-esque reveal launch. It's like reveal. It's out in a month and a half. Like, I don't know. That's
Well, we know
think
we're
that's-
at least seeing it by end of March. We're at least getting that reveal by then. We
Yeah.
could also get the release by then too. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
I think March is too soon. I think that's a really quick turnaround time. April's like if it is revealed this month, I feel like April is the absolute soonest they could
Okay.
launch it at that point. And April's my birthday month, so it'd be appropriate.
Ooh,
Hey
there you go.
Nintendo, make sure
Damn, I would love
you
that.
have enough stock, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think it's also a case that they've been very careful with their phrasing to investors that like there will be an announcement about it, or like an announcement for the Switch successor by end of the fiscal year. And then they also told us, oh yeah, like it'll be backwards compatible. Like they told us a little
Right.
bit, but I think they've been very careful to say there'll be an announcement about it and not releasing then. Because I think releasing by end of the fiscal year, they have said that in the past for other consoles because they think they need investors to know that much. So I think they're trying to set the expectation it won't be coming out before April 1st. But
Yeah,
April 1st, it could really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking. I totally lost my train of thought, but somebody saying, Bung Bro in the chat. I don't know. I can't read it from here. Nintendo
fine.
is coming off a soft year sales wise. The turnaround is similar to the Switch. If it comes out in March, the stars are aligning. Okay, but if we're gonna operate by that logic, this thing would have been revealed in October.
Oh,
I don't know.
also, they have pushed Xenoblade Chronicles X is their big March title. In terms
Yeah,
of
that's
release.
why I don't think it's gonna be March.
Yeah, I do feel like that game would be sent out to die if you were also launching the console and new exclusives in the same month.
Yeah, that's why I think March is off the table.
I think they do dumb stuff like that sometimes.
They do.
They do stuff like that, and it's like for those of you that still are gaming on the Switch, please enjoy. It's hard to say. Like if anything, I'm like, man, maybe that's more evidence it'll be on that day. But my heart is telling me the first week of April feels juicy. That's what my heart is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree,
really
Bungle.
think so.
Bungle, I know where you're coming from. I get it. But that's, this isn't the debate me program. All right.
and watch. They said there would be an announcement about the Switch successor. They didn't say it would be an announcement of the Switch successor. They could say like, "All right, here's the announcement. The buttons are going to be A, B, X, Y. See you in another 12 months."
Joey, that's not. You're not crazy. Like, could they do a Nintendo Direct where it's like about just Switch stuff, and then at the end it's like Switch 2?
I have an announcement to make about the Switch too.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "All right, I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog is a just."
Well, because you know how
I
they're
can't
always,
finish that
they're
sentence.
always like, this presentation will not feature information about the success
Yeah.
of the Nintendo. Yeah. What if that's like, okay, this one will.
I
know-
feel like
yeah.
they won't go out of their way to say this one will. They just won't say that it won't, and then it'll
I
end
think
up
so,
being
too.
like one or two of the games that are in there just also were on Switch too.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
the
I
thing.
think
I don't know.
I think for something like this, they'd want it to be its own separate thing instead of in the middle of a direct. Because I don't think they want to cross marketing like that.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Jake, I know you're sitting there waiting for when they confirm your color button theory. I know you're waiting.
I think it's over. I think it's dead. I don't
Really?
Think yeah, I don't believe in the colored buttons anymore.
Oh yeah, they're not even in the leaked quote unquote designs. Like it's like also Switch OLED was announced July and released October with Metroid. That's 3 months difference. Yeah, but that's not a new console. That's
Yeah,
just
you don't
an
have to
upgrade
communicate
version. Yeah.
anything. It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. My colored buttons thing I think is sunk because I think something I'm coming to terms with is that I think it's just gonna be a big Switch. Like I've just accepted it. I'm like, no,
with a
it's
C button.
Yeah, with that C. Wait, really quick. What do you think the C button is?
Something that's totally not impressive. I don't think. I think
Agreed.
it's just going to be like it's going to be as like important as the screenshot button. I don't know what that entails, but
Chat.
we'll find out.
It's C for chat.
C for
Yes.
chat.
I thought you were waiting to say chat. Tell us what it does.
No,
But then
no,
he's
it's-
like,
it's-
it's just.
But like literally, I'm right there with you. It's like you hit the screenshot button and then you hit the C button to send it to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Community brings up the friends list. Done.
I do think I was gonna say I think it's a community button. I think it's
Community.
to bring up some sort of like Miiverse like
Miiverse.
thing or like a sidebar, almost like if you hold down the home menu right now, you get that like
Yeah.
third of the screen for that. I think it's gonna get something like that, but for like friends, whatever Miiverse 2 is, things like that. It's a
Yeah.
That'd
community
be
button.
so good. That's
Because-
like that's
yeah.
what I
Because
talk about in my videos. Just bring back something like Miiverse.
Yeah.
Mhm. And listen, I'm probably the progenitor of the cast idea for the Switch, and now I think that idea is dead. I think it's dead.
It's dead.
I think it's dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Nintendo's not
Unfortunately.
messing with that anymore.
I think
Unfortunately.
if
it would have been great.
yeah, I think if there was something in the dock that was technology, we would know.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
Yeah, I think the dock is just plastic like it is now. So
Yep.
can't be casting when it's a plastic dock. So
Oh, but the Switch 2 Pro in like 3 years though.
let's talk. Let's talk. The one hope though is that there's that second damn USB-C thing on the top, and that is definitely
that is so that you can charge playing in tabletop mode.
I
Because
know,
you can't play in
dude.
tabletop mode and charge it. Like that's
Yeah.
the only reason why that's there. I'm so convinced.
There's a part
Yeah.
of me that's like, okay, what if Nintendo comes out and they say, hey, Nintendo Switch, that puppy sold really well. We know you all have them. So what if you put your Switch in the Switch 2 dock and that's how you cast? It turns your Switch 1 into a receiver.
Oh, that's such a great
Interesting.
idea. Nintendo won't do it.
I don't know. I think we all agree there is something big we don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and it's just hard to guess. It's hard to throw that dart, and so I'm just trying to think outside the box. But anyways, Tris, your last wish or hope.
Okay, my last one is less so specifically about the Switch 2 and more about like the general like hope for Nintendo this year.
Yeah.
And some of my other hopes and predictions that I kind of put in here can kind of come back to this.
Mhm.
Aiden said it in the chat quite a while ago. This year, this September marks Mario's 40th anniversary.
Whoa.
And yeah, it's the 40th anniversary of Mario.
Okay.
And Nintendo went really hard for some reason for 35. Where they
Right.
had that like big special logo, they had a bunch of games branded as that. They had Super Mario Bros. 35 as that game that was only available for like 6 months. They had Super Mario 3D All Stars that was only available for like 6 months. I want to see them go all in for Mario's 40th anniversary to the extent of making the 35th anniversary look like it was just the way it was because of COVID. I want it to look like they're like really celebrating. Go all out, like starting in like September all the way to like the following August. So it would start this year. Have like the next big 3D Mario, have Mario Kart, have the Mario movie somewhere in there, have like, re-release 3D All-Stars with Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 3D Land in there as well. Like, it's like 3D All-Stars Plus or something. I don't know. Like, have so much Mario that really feels like you're actually celebrating the legacy. And that could also be where if you want to, I don't know, have Switch 2 enhanced versions of any Mario titles from Switch 1, you also, put those updates out during then. But, like, this year, like 2020, or this past year, 2024, we all talked about how, like, there's a lot of Mario titles releasing. You have Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Peach Showtime, Paper Mario, like, and that's just some. Let this, like, the Mario Anniversary blow that out of the water, where it doesn't feel like they're just releasing things to release things, but actually feel like it's part of that anniversary. Because 40 is a big number. I don't know why they went as hard as they did for 35, but even like 30, what they did for 30 was the original Mario Maker.
Right.
So make 40 like huge.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up a new 3D Mario in that.
I did. I said have a new 3D Mario, have a new Mario Kart, like have like huge new releases.
All right,
like,
I did.
in there,
I just totally missed it.
I kind of glossed over it because I have no idea what they would do.
I mean, it's been what?
A new one.
It's going to be
years,
what, eight
yeah.
years since
8
Mario
years
Odyssey. It is shocking that there hasn't been a new 3D Mario since.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You see the words on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Galaxy 3.
I would lose it. Like,
Okay.
actually, I would lose it. I would lose
Maximum titillation.
Wow. Okay. So that would be good.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I love the Galaxy games, like, culturally for what they brought as well. Like, I love the kind of design that went into those games. And even if we get a Galaxy 3 and it's not, like, the perfect game, I wouldn't be upset because I love all the ideas that go into the Mario Galaxy games. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
I think
I
that would be awesome.
expect this next 3D Mario to be something original, like Super Mario Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like-
do agree.
yeah. Mhm.
I do agree. But yeah, that's my last one. That kind of some of my older or previous ideas kind of jump into this one of I want them to like in like September or August or whenever they choose to announce it. I want them to like really, really push Mario's 40th anniversary as this like massive thing.
Paul Ryan 2020 or 220 in the chat asks, will the capture mechanic return? I think we all agree. No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
can't. You
that's
can't
that.
it's not fun.
Yeah, you can't do it again. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not fun to,
They've
like-
exhausted what they can do with it.
It's like you see the Goomba, you already know what it's gonna do. You see the,
Mhm.
there's so many. They did it so completely in Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest to the capture mechanic I can see, I still think the elephant power-up from Mario Wonder is weirdly out of place. Because it's not a suit, it's a full-on, like, transformation. That feels weird, like, in retrospect. Like, you don't have that in a lot of other Mario things, outside of the capture mechanic.
Right.
So it makes me wonder if we're going to see something like that for the next 3D Mario as well. Something that actually fully transforms the Mario characters. And that's the closest I could see to capture returning, but it would ultimately be something different. So
I think he's talking. I think he's talking full sentences. I think that's the move. This game. He's gonna
Be
show
crazy.
up. He's going up to NPCs. He's collecting side quests. He's having a full conversation.
finally,
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine 2, but this time Mario talks too.
I think the recasting of Mario is all. It's going to like. Oh, we get it now. We see the vision. It's like the
Mhm.
Mario movie trained kids to understand that Mario talks, and now there he is. He talks now.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So you're suggesting Link is going to talk in future games? That's crazy. After the movie comes out in 2029.
Kinda. I could see it. I kind of think I kind of want Pokemon to start talking too. I want all those people to start.
Wait,
speaking
the
up.
people or the Pokemon? There's a
Both.
difference.
Yes.
Both.
Okay, because I do remember you and I talking about how like Scarlet and Violet felt like they really wanted to set up voice acting where
Yeah.
even trailers had it,
Yeah.
but they were just for the trailers. We're like, come on.
It's
And
time.
Pokemon Masters, like that mobile game, has a voice actor for like every character in all of Pokemon. Like, come
Yes.
on, they're clearly gonna reuse them because they did that with Fire Emblem Heroes, where every time someone gets voice acting in Fire Emblem Heroes, they're gonna get it in the mainline games as well. Just do that for Pokemon.
It's
come
time.
on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and when they talk, I want the Pokemon to say their names. I want it to be like the anime. I don't want them to just go grr. I want them to go, yeah, Psyduck. You know, like that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
because if you're like wandering around and then you just hear out of your Psyduck, like you're like,
It's like, oh, where is
that's
it? Where is
way
it?
more
Yeah.
fun. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Like, yeah, so
I agree. But yeah, I don't know what they would do for Mario other than like the things I listed out. Like that would be huge. I don't know if I really see a Mario Maker 3 happening just because I saw someone mentioning it. But I would hope it feels like the biggest thing they're doing, and I think it'd be really smart to have that so early in the launch of the Switch successor.
Yes.
Because that's how you have like such a strong like promise of like at least the first year's lineup's gonna be like really good.
Hold on. I'm getting dunked on right now in the chat about my Pokemon. Okay, can I just say these people are exposing themselves for having no creativity? Because you think, oh, a unique cry is so much more special and different than just saying their names. Okay, first off, if we're recording these for a video game, they're just saying one thing. They each get one thing. It's not like, okay, but let's be clear. If I'm a Diglett, I can say my name an infinitesimal number of ways. I can say, Diggy, Diglett, let, dig. You can, this small-minded, narrow view of saying your name. Come on, let's have a little bit more imagination, chat. All right, I'll ban you all. Okay. All right. Oh man, those cries. I never liked those cries. I streamed a Pokemon game this year, and I can't remember which one, but there's like a quiz section, and it's like, it makes a little noise, and it goes, okay, which Pokemon's cry was that? My chat always knew those psychopaths. And I was like, how do you know? It was like, Brr! I'm like, oh, obviously that's Weedle. It's like,
especially if like you're talking basically. Look at like Pikachu and Eevee in Pokemon Let's Go.
They already do it. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. They're already doing it. Like Eevee does not go Eevee for like, each thing. Like it has like a whole thing that when said out, it kind of sounds like it's saying Eevee. It'd be like that.
See,
it'd be like that.
Chat. That's what it's like to not have such a narrow mind. All right. I hope you learn. Okay, my final wish. I wish for this every year. I've wished for this every year since I was a small child. One day I will hopefully get it. I just want, for the love of God, there to one day be a Pokemon game where I control the Pokemon and I run and jump and punch and I don't know, whatever other verbs Pokemon do. I want to.
You didn't like Pokepark?
Listen, they got close. They were speaking to me. It wasn't the right language, but they were speaking. And I just, one day, they're gonna make a cool Pokemon game where I'm a little boy, and I've got the Pokeballs on my belt, and I throw out a Pokeball, and then the perspective shifts, and now I am the Pokemon, and I do a little fight. That's all I want. One day.
It's weird because they're playing around with that idea in Scarlet and Violet's DLC as well.
It's so close.
Like they're clearly like trying something with that. So
we've never been close.
It does not feel very far off at this point.
Legends Arceus, the Pokemon can attack you. There's some stuff happening there that I would consider real time. It's just one day we'll get there. I want Elden Ring. Part of the reason that game is so big is because it's a great streaming game. You don't need any content.
Right.
And I love when people do those runs where it's like, I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna do a naked run. I have bad gear, but I'm so sick. I'm so good at this game, I'm gonna dominate it. I wanna do a level 1 Psyduck run where I'm just so nasty. I'm just jumping, I'm dodging, I'm weaving. It's like, oh my God, you go up to a Charizard, you punch him in the face, and then I run away. And then it's like, oh my God, Jake is so good at playing Psyduck. It's like, this is all I want. This is all I want, one day.
You want more like an action adventure Pokemon game where you're playing as the Pokemon themselves and not like, the Pokemon RPGs.
Yes. And if you listen, RPG elements, I would love it. But yeah, all right.
I Diglett it.
Thank you. And you could say that in so many ways if you wanted. So
I Diglett it.
All right. As we wrap things up here, 2025. I think it's going to be a good year. I think it'll be fun and full of surprises, and we can count on that. And that's something.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel good inside. So I'm really excited. If you're watching this on YouTube, this was streamed at twitch.tv/JakeKnowsIt. Maybe I'm going to stream there more. I don't know. Hit that follow button, whatever. Leave me a comment with your wishes, hopes, dreams, what you want to see in 2025 for the Nintendo Switch. Be sure to check out Joey's latest content, Triss's latest content. Joey, what are you working on right now? What's next?
I don't know yet. I'm right now. I'm like waiting out for the Switch 2 to probably be revealed. Right now, there's rumors that it's January 8th. I don't
Really?
know.
I've been hearing similarly, but what I've been hearing is it may not be the Switch 2, but it's just some sort of Nintendo announcement then.
Okay. Yeah, so right now I got like different ideas in the pipeline, right? But I don't come out with videos like every other day like these other channels do.
Yeah.
So
I can't.
I'm probably just gonna do some self-care until January 8th and see what happens.
We love self-care.
At my New Year's party, I made a vision board for the year, so we were
yes.
earlier.
That's
so
awesome.
I feel you. Tris, what's next for you? What should we look out for?
Mario Party Championships.
Yes, let's go.
Right.
I had that first episode come out earlier this week as of recording. I don't know when exactly you're getting this up. And my goal is 2 episodes a week, and there's 8 episodes total. It's a lot of work, but I'm hoping to get it up, get everything up and out, so that way when there is eventually news, everything's already edited and I can just get it up. Hopefully, I gotta get ahead on it first.
So wait, will there be a new episode tomorrow, Friday, January 3rd?
I'm not sure if it'll be Friday, but it might be Saturday though.
Oh,
my goal is every Monday and Friday. The Compathlon episode took a lot to edit, and I had to edit that. Then I left for Zeldathon side quest, so I didn't get time to touch episode 2 until today. So, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you both so much. I'm sure we're gonna have lovely years, and I can't wait for the end of the year. Are we gonna do a post reveal discussion?
Oh,
absolutely.
I would love to.
Don't even ask. Just do it.
All right, pencil it in. All right. Thank you both so much. We'll talk soon.